Comparison is the thief of joy. Oh man, that is so true. So get ready for some good news in 7 minutes or less. Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy, and this is your Less Than 7 Bible video where it is my goal to give you some encouragement from the Bible in 7 minutes or less. Teddy Roosevelt once said that comparison is the thief of joy. Never were truer words spoke. When we perceive our abilities or possessions to be better than whatever we're comparing them to, we tend to be satisfied. And whenever we perceive them to be inferior, we become unsatisfied and want more. This is something that is with us from the day we are born, and it is difficult to train out. It reminds me of a story from my construction days. When I was a teenager, I worked in construction, and sometimes we did remodels and stuff like that. Well, there was this one job site that had an old car seat just laying around. I mean, like literally at the front seat out of a car, just sitting there. Now, if you know anything about a remodeled job site, you know that it is usually a dirty place and there's nowhere comfortable to sit. Whenever it was break time or lunchtime, you would just sit on a toolbox or a pile of lumber or something. Well, someone got the bright idea to pull this old car seat out and sit on it during break time. All of a sudden, you would have thought this old car seat was a $500 lazy boy recliner. I mean, everyone wanted to sit in it. It became the prized possession for the lucky person who got their 10 minutes on this old seat. I'm telling you, it was hilarious. If you had put this seat in almost any other environment, it would have been considered garbage. No one would want to sit in it for any reason. But on that job site, it was like a throne. Why? Because compared to anywhere else to sit, it was a lap of luxury. Jesus talks about this comparison dynamic in Matthew chapter 20, starting in verse 1, says this. For the kingdom of heaven is like the landowner who went out one early morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay the normal daily wage and sent them out to work. At 9 o'clock in the morning, he was passing through the marketplace and saw some people standing around doing nothing. So he hired them, telling them he would pay them whatever is right at the end of the day. So they went to work in the vineyard. At noon and again at 3 o'clock, he did the same thing. At 5 o'clock that afternoon, he was in town again and saw some more people standing around. He asked them, "Why haven't you been working today?" They replied, "Because no one hired us." The landowner told them, "Then go out and join the others in the vineyard." That evening, he told the foreman to call the workers in and pay them, beginning with the last workers first. When those hired at 5 o'clock were paid, each received a full day's wage. When those hired first came to get their pay, they assumed they would receive more, but they too were paid a day's wage. When they received their pay, they protested to the owner. "Those people worked only 1 hour, and yet you have paid them just as much as you've paid us, who worked all day in the scorching heat." He answered one of them, "Friend, I haven't been unfair. Didn't you agree to work all day for the usual wage? Take your money and go. I wanted to pay this last worker the same as you. Is it against the law for me to do what I want with my money? Should you be jealous because I am kind to others? So those who are last now will be first then, and those who are first will be last." Now let's be honest. If we were the workers who worked all day in the scorching heat, wouldn't we be upset that those who worked only an hour got the same pay? I bet we would. So what is the lesson that Jesus is teaching us? Try to wait till the last possible minute to come to the kingdom of heaven? No, I don't think so. The issue is comparison. The workers who were hired in the beginning of the day were grateful to receive the work and the pay that they were promised. The problem came when they saw what others got. In verse 10 it says, they assumed they would receive more. People are still like that today. We are perfectly fine sitting on a toolbox until someone finds an old car seat. Then we want more. How many times have you heard someone say, well, if we do that for this person, then we have to do it for everyone? Why? because that is our sense of fairness. But remember what Jesus started with. The kingdom of heaven is like. The kingdom of heaven is not like our kingdom. God does not play according to the rules we make up. You see, from God's point of view, this parable has nothing to do with scorching heat, amount of time, or amount of money. It is about responding to the Father. It is about the reality that what we think is important really isn't. If we look at the last verse in chapter 19, Jesus sets up this parable with this. But many who are the greatest now will be least important then, and those who seem least important now will be the greatest then. So here is my encouragement for you today. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't base your idea of fair reward on what you think others have. Be grateful for what God has given you and work hard to fulfill His calling in your life. If you are a servant of Jesus Christ, you should be full of great joy no matter what. Well, I hope this was helpful for you today. God bless you and have a great day. Hey, did you like that video? If you'd like to see more, just click on the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when we upload new content, just click the little bell. See you next time.